I started calling to find out where travel agencies was. I was looking at on the map, like, where's a travel? Because like I'm buying a plane ticket and I'm flying back to Pittsburgh and I'm going AWOL. Welcome back to another episode of the Chronicles of Mike Murphy. I'm your host, comedian Mike Murphy. Hey, before we go any further, please do me a favor. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, stop what you're doing and hit the subscribe button. Like, share, comment. Tell a friend and tell a friend, because any way that you can help contribute to grow the audience on my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Because I said it before, I'll say it again. Without you, there is no me, and for that, I am forever thankful. Today's Wednesday is hump day. I hope you guys are having a blessed and beautiful week. I asked for more episodes, so now it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm delivering. But in today's episode, I'm taking y'all back to December of 2002, right? I wanted to go AWOL from the military, and here's what happened. So let's go back 2 years. I'm out and about at some festival that the city was having, like a mile away from my crib or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm outside of town. I get to the festival, I see my homegirl, Mara. Now, me and Mara been like, that been my first ever best female friend since sixth grade. Now this is like, I think like I'm in like 10th grade now. You know what I mean? At this point. I see Mara. Oh, what's good? What we talking or whatever? She's like working at the festival. As we're talking, I spot a girl next to her. They kind of looked alike. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, who that? You know what I'm saying? She was like, oh, that's my little sister. I'm like, oh, yeah, need that. What's up? Plug me in. She's like, hell no. Nah. Like, she's not with it. And Mara knows me, so she knows like I'm a good dude. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, yo, you know me. Like, I'm not gonna do nothing here. She was like, nah, that's my baby sister. Leave it alone, Mike. Like, I'm not playing with you. That's dead. Like, just think, go find somebody else. It's good seeing you. You want something to eat, but you ain't talking to her. I'm like, I'm looking at Shorty like, yo, she kind of looking at me. So from that point all the way up until the summer of '02, which would have been approximately a 2-year window, I've been trying to get with this girl. I'm trying to like go around the mirror, you know, every which way I can, I'm trying to talk to her, you know what I'm saying? And it just wasn't happening. Too many obstacles. I remember one time she invited me to the house just to stop by. Her parents were there and all that. And I'm talking to her mom. She's like, oh yeah, how do you know my daughter? I'm like, I go to school with Mary. That's my homie. We homeroom together. She's like, y'all the same age? I'm like, yeah. She was like, don't you think you're a little too old for my daughter? I was like, oh, we only like 2 years. She was like, yeah, like I said, too old. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And she got Miss Jackie's one of those old black moms with the traditional values. She's like, nah, like she's protecting her kids. And I get it. Because my daughter's 16 right now. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have wanted her to talk to nobody that was 16. So I get it. But back then, as a kid, you like, damn. That's when you used to have your sister call the girl's house and ask for the girl because she wouldn't allow boys to call. And then when she get on the phone, you get on the phone. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that don't know, way before cell phones, I'm unk now. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in an era where you had to have, yo, my little sister, yo, call her, ask for her. Then when she get on, I'll get on. All right, cool. That's what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? It was that era. So anyways, for 2 years, I've been trying to get this girl. I never got her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, damn. I don't know what changed, but the summer of '02, I graduated in June. I'm leaving for the army in August. For some reason, her mom started being accepting of me. Hey, Mike, or loving me. I'm like, damn. Mara, like, yeah, my sister asked about you. You could call her. I'm like, hold on, bruh. Why y'all ain't been do this 2 years ago when I was free? I'm about to get shipped off like Lorenz Tate and their presidents. What's up with you? Like, why would you do this now? And I'm not gonna lie, I love that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I was head over heels about that girl. This was the first time I ever felt like that about anybody. Like I didn't even know what that feeling was. I'm like, yo, I'll go to the end of the earth for this shorty. Like, and I can't even have her. So now that I'm getting the attention and I'm allowed to like communicate with her and freely just stop up the house and all that, I felt like this was torture. You know what I mean? God, what are you doing to me? So I signed up. I got to go to the military. Boom. I ship out in August, right? Now, when I ship out, she move on. You know, she start talking to some other dude. I think his name was AJ, right? If it's not, we gonna call him AJ for the story. Start talking to this other dude or whatever. Cool. I'm doing my thing. I'm focused on that. I'm graduating from my from basic and AIT December 5th. So I'm gonna be home for around Christmas time, right? It's cold back home or whatever. I remember I didn't really talk to this girl much while I was in basic training. She had a boyfriend, and I'm in basic training. It ain't like I'm just chilling, you know what I mean? Like, excuse me, I would write occasionally, you know what I'm saying? I would call, I called her maybe 2 or 3 times the whole 4 months I was gone, but it wasn't really like that. Well, sorry, I called her about 2 or 3 times up until what I'm about to tell you. And I remember I had her pictures hanging up in my wall locker, hoping that like maybe she break up with dude, or maybe we, reconnect on some Disney fairy tale shit, right? Yeah, it's some simp shit, I guess. I don't know. I was in love, puppy love, whatever. Nigga, don't judge me. So it gets closer to me coming home, and I call her one day, and she's like, "Yeah, me and AJ broke up." I'm like, "Wow, what happened?" She was like, "He said he wasn't buying me for nothing for Christmas," and I was like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "No, no, I'm just playing with you, but you don't play with me like that." So I broke up with him. I don't joke like that. I'm like, that's a dumb reason to break up with somebody, but I'm smart. I know she didn't break up with him for that. She broke up with him because now big dog's coming home and she want me. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what I thought in my head, because that was the most pettiest reason. And I know when a woman wants what she wants, she'll find a way to get it. You know what I'm saying? Just like in the other story when I told y'all my shorty left me, she made up a whole story about getting a job in Arizona just so she could break up with me for homie cuz. So when shorty did that, I already knew what type time it was. So now me and her start talking all the time. Whenever I get it on the weekends phone privilege, I'm calling her. You know what I'm saying? So we lining it up. We pretty much together now. When I come home, that solidifies it. So the Army, I don't know if all branches have this. They probably do, but it's this thing called hometown recruiting. What it allows you to do, I think it's either 10 or 14 days. I can't remember. But they let you do this. I think it's 14 days. You come home for hometown recruiting for 14 days right out of basic training. So you go back home to wherever you signed up at, and every day, Monday through Friday for them 2 weeks, you go to the recruiting station and you go out with a recruiter and you work with them. Now, at the time, I didn't know what it was, but really, it's just a way for them to use you as a way to manipulate new people into joining the military. Because you got to think about it. You just finished basic and AIT and all that. The hard part's out the way. And now you seeing them checks rolling in. You talking to somebody struggling in high school, or a nigga who just graduated and he ain't really got no bread. You like, yo, bro, the checks is crazy. I was basic. I did it. Cause now it don't seem that hard to you, but when you doing it, you're like, I hate this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if they asked you in the middle of basic training, should I join? You be like, fuck, run, bro, don't do it. But when you graduate and you already done it, you feel like you accomplished something. Just like anything else, you don't want to go to the gym. You tired, whatever. Once you leave the gym, you're like, oh, I'm glad I did that. I feel good. So I'm getting home like, nah, it's easy, bro. You get through it. They using you to get more people to join. And in return, they basically giving you 14 free days to be at home with your family because they know you haven't earned enough leave time to spend with your family. So I'm like, I'll take it. So I'm coming home for that, right? And I remember the beginning of my military career being so rocky. Like, if you had to place a wager on how the rest of my military career was going to go based on that first maybe 6, 7 months, oh, you'd have been like, oh, he's going to get kicked out for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because he's he's terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I just wasn't adapting well, right? So I come home from hometown recruiting, and when you go to recruiting, you got to wear your dress uniform, right? Class A's. I remember the first day going to recruiting, I get on a bus, the PAT bus. I think it's called a PRT now back home, but it was the PAT bus back then. I jump on a PAT bus to take me from Garfield to East Liberty to go to the recruiting station. It's like a mile away, but it's cold. I told you it's December. I didn't have a jacket or I didn't like the jacket that they give you in the military. It's like a black trench coat. I don't know why I thought I could do this. I put on a brown leather shirling and a Scully and wore that to the recruiting station. As soon as I walked in, it was like, yo, what the hell are you doing? You out of you're not in accordance with the AR 670-1. What are you doing with that coat on? Where's the black coat that goes with that uniform? I'm like, nah, what you talking about? I ain't like that one. I threw this one. It was warmer. They like, bro, what are you talking about? You can't just wear no street clothes with your uniform. I thought I could. Take that shit off. I'm like, all right, my bad. And I ain't like wearing you know what I'm saying, the London Fog 007 trench coat. It looked whack. You know what I'm saying? I was like a dude that just came from wearing iceberg history and a Nietzsche and all that shit. I don't want to wear this, but whatever. I go to recruiting. I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with the recruiter. It's cool. But every day I get to see Shorty. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was so in love and I was so sold on this fantasy fairy tale that even though she was 16, I was 18. Her mom and them all cool with it. So I don't, in Pennsylvania, I still think that's legal. I don't know, but I don't want y'all looking at me like I was on some registry shit. Nah, that was my shorty. You know what I mean? I was shooting the club up. We talking about having a family. I'm just going in and just letting off every time. And when you young like that, Dudes know when you young and 18, you horny, you want to fuck all the time. And she was with it too. So we was doing it in my sister's car. Everywhere we could, we was doing it. You know what I mean? We was just teeing off, right? I got her name tattooed on my back. People looking at me like, bro, you are bugging. I didn't care. I was gone. I wanted a family with her, right? At the time, me and her mom was super close. Miss Jackie and me was super close. And it was crazy because she started out not liking me in the beginning because of my age. Now she looking at me like, this is my son. She loved me. Now, me and her dad was cool, but it was like just a mutual respect. How you doing, Mr. Benny? Hey, how's it going, Mike? But we weren't like close like that. And the crazy thing is now he's like a father to me. This is my guy. I talk to him all the time. You know what I mean? So it's just weird how that dynamic was, but I wasn't close with him then. So I'm shooting up her club, you know what I'm saying? Then it's time, it's like 2 days before me to leave to go back to report to my duty station. And I want to go AWOL. I don't want to leave. I want to be with her. She's crying. I'm holding back my tears. I'm like, man, I gotta go. She's like, oh, I love you. What if I'm pregnant? I'm like, we gonna be a family then? Like, it was just a bunch of just irresponsible decisions made at an age where you make those kind of irresponsible decisions, I guess. So I was like, I'll go AWOL if you want. She was like, let me think about it. I'm like, all right. I think she talked to her mom. I still never asked her about this. But the next day she was like, don't go AWOL because if I'm having a kid, how you gonna provide? You need to be in the military. You need that income, da da da. So we'll work it out. I'm like, all right, cool. She's like, I'm here. I only want you. I'm like, I only want you. She's like, bet. 2 days later, I get on a flight. I'm packing up all my stuff in my house. Now, this was at like the height of my mom's drug addiction. So I remember going to the house that I grew up in my old room where I was bagging up crack and doing all kind of wild shit. And I remember packing all my bags and I kind of got emotional, right? Like I'm kind of getting emotional right now thinking about it. Cause I was just back at the house for my daughter's birthday in April, and I went and looked at the room and was like, damn, it just crazy memories. Anyways, I was in the room packing my bags up and I'm looking at the wall and all the pictures of me and my dudes when I was in the streets and all that. And I'm thinking about how my mom is not there. My mom is out getting high somewhere and she's just not seeing her son be a hero. And that was like, it was eating me up. So I got emotional in the room and I started to cry a little bit. Like not the boo-hoo cry, but like just to wipe the tears away. And I started packing my bags and I got distracted. And I went downstairs, got something to drink, came back up, grabbed my bag and left. I'm going to the airport in the morning. I get to Texas. What I forgot was there's a big, thick folder with all my paperwork for the military, basically saying that I'm supposed to be there, my orders, everything. You need this paperwork. So when I get to reception at Fort Hood, I don't have this paper. I'm digging through everything. Like, I know I packed this shit, looking through everything. I'm already sad about having to leave my girl. I'm sad about my mom. I'm fucked up. You know, I'm 18 years old. I'm really still a kid. And all this time from 16 to 18 when I was running the streets, you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was grown. But this was the first time I was on my own in a city 1,500 miles away. And I just felt like, oh, I really am still like a child. Like, this is crazy. So I'm looking for the paperwork. I go to the reception desk and I'm telling them, like, yo, I don't got the papers. Like, I don't know what I did with them. Like, but I'm supposed to be here. What's your name? I tell 'em my name, like, yeah, hey, listen, you got 48 hours to get the papers or we're marking you AWOL. I'm like, what? It was December 30th. The next day is New Year's Eve. Like, and then after that is New Year's. So there's no way I'm gonna even get the papers in time. I'm panicking, like, oh my God, I can't call my mom. I don't even know where she's at. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know where these papers are. I'm freaking out. I remember, like, all right, I'll figure it out. And I went to a payphone. It was a payphone right in the like the like right outside of the receiving. It's like in the barracks. And I went to this payphone and I was sitting there and I was acting like I was making a call and I just started crying. So I was like, yo, they're gonna mark me AWOL. Like if I was gonna go AWOL, I could have been back with my girl. Like I know it sounds like I'm being like a bitch, but dog, everything about me on that night was like falling apart. Like I was like, what is going on? Like I'm trying to do the right thing. They're not helping me and shit. And I panicked and I sat at the payphone, got myself together, wiped the tears away, walked outside, and got on my cell phone, called Miss Jackie, my girl's mom, and I said, Miss Jack, this is what's going on. I don't know what to do. I'm about to go AWOL. She's like, no, baby, calm down. We'll figure it out. I was like, I'm like, I think I left the papers on the bed at the house when I was packing. That's the only place they could be. She's like, I'll go there and I'll look. I'm like, well, my mom's not there. I don't know where she's at. She's like, I'll figure it out. You don't worry about that. Call me back in a little bit. I'm like, all right. Call her back a couple hours later. She's like, I got the papers. I'm like, yo, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, I found your mom. She found my mom, bro. And like, I don't even know where. Had my mom open the door. She goes up there, finds the paper. She overnights them shits to me. But I remember this, right? In the midst of that time period from me hanging out with Miss Jack till I called her back, I started calling to find out where travel agencies was. I was looking at on the map, like, where's a travel? Because like I'm buying a plane ticket and I'm flying back to Pittsburgh and I'm going AWOL. I'm gonna be back with my girl. I don't care, whatever. They'll just have to lock me up. I was just going. I was losing it. And I remember people thinking like a travel agency. Why you just going like Expedia? Before I shot this video, I had to Google was Expedia and all price sign and all them even in existence then. Because I remember thinking I'm going to a travel agency like physically in person. And they said they came. I think the first one came out in '95. I think it was like maybe Travelocity, maybe I can't remember. The first one was '95. Then like up until like 2001, I think they all started to come together or whatever. But most people didn't have access to internet like that. We didn't have iPhones where you could just go on your phone and just go to price sign an app. You know what I mean? You had to go to a website. I had no computer. So I was going to find the travel agent, go there, like get a taxi. Wasn't even no Ubers then. Get a taxi to the travel agency, buy a plane ticket, a one way, and just dip and go back and be like, all right, cool. Miss Jack called me like, I got the papers. I'm overnighting them. I got them shits the next day, turned them in, and I was like, man, I ain't want y'all to mark me AWOL. The dude at the counter was like, oh man, I was just messing with you, bro. Like, we'd have got you the paperwork. If you didn't send them, we would have figured it out. You know what I mean? Ain't no big deal. You good? I want to strangle him. Like, what, bro? You got me crying at the payphone, calling my peoples back home. She driving around looking for my mom while she's getting high, chasing these papers down off you playing games. He was like, welcome to the unit. I was, it was so crazy. But then maybe a couple weeks later, my girlfriend missed her period. And she told me, and I'm like, damn, what are we gonna do? I was scared because now I gotta talk to somebody. So she told her mom, didn't tell her dad. She told her mom, I talked to her mom, and at this time I'm 18, but I'm a man. And I was raised by men who taught me how to be solid. So as a man, I talked to her, I said, listen, man, we were being careless. Like, I just love your daughter. I want to marry her. If she's pregnant, we're gonna be a family, da da. And she said, man, there's nothing else I can say to you. Like, yeah, I don't want my daughter pregnant, but if it's gonna be by anybody, I trust you. So I'm gonna take her to the doctors. We'll figure it out. We'll be in touch. I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, but I gotta have this conversation with her dad because he can't find out from y'all and not me. He'll never respect me. She was like, all right, gave me his number. I called him. I told him what it was. He's like, I'm not happy about this, but I respect you as a man. He was like, and for you to be 18 and you're handling it like this, that makes me feel a little bit more at ease. And I got a lot of respect for you, young man. He was like, we'll figure it out, but you better keep your word. And I was like, nah, I got you. I promise. She ended up not being pregnant. You know what I'm saying? We ended up being together for like 2 years and it didn't work out or whatever. I told her a story about how we broke up, but that's still my dog to this day. And her parents, Mr. Benny and Miss Jack, blood couldn't make us any closer. Her whole family, Aunt Shay, Amira, Adina, her sisters, that is my family through and through, thick and thick. You know what I mean? No matter what, they've always had my back. When I went to Iraq and my mom was throwing drugs, Miss Jackie was my power of attorney. She was paying my bills with my debit card. She had access to my entire bank account. She didn't spend a penny. Even when I told her she could take money out if she needed it, she never spent a penny. She's always had my back. That's one of the most important women in my entire life. But I was about to go AWOL for her daughter and because I lost the packet. But because of her, I didn't. And I'm forever grateful for her. God damn, bro. Like, oh man, y'all fucking me up with this one. It is what it is, man. But and Miss Jack, I love you. Mr. Benny, I love you. The whole family, y'all know what it is. But that is my story about why I almost went AWOL my first 4 months in the army. And then I turned around and became one of the best soldiers ever. And I got a story that I'm gonna tell about that in the next couple of days. So, hey, I appreciate the support. That concludes this episode of the Chronicles of Mike Murphy. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe now, like, share, comment, tell a friend and tell a friend, because any way that you can help contribute to growing the audience on my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Because I said it before, I'll say it again. Without you, there is no me. And for that, I am forever thankful. I will see you guys Friday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Blessings and peace.